Hello, good evening, everybody. This is Critical Drop. My name is Power Trick.
And it's your boy G in Invasion.
And today we got a huge thing to talk about.
Oh, what we talking about first?
You already know where I'm gonna go. You already know where I'm gonna go in with this one.
All right, then we'll just start with whatever.
But first off, I'm gonna give a shout out to ThatUmbrellaGod. Yes, I said ThatUmbrellaGod because the dude said ThatUmbrellaGod. So I said, you're not the Umbrella God no more. You're ThatUmbrellaGod. That's your new name. So the Umbrella God, you need to change it to ThatUmbrellaGod. That's number one. Number two, the Yellow Flash and all the other basically individual journalists that on YouTube who basically not only just backed up Johnny Depp, but just showed the world the truth instead of like the other media that's all behind.
So wait. Is it okay yet on the algorithm to actually say their names, or do we have to just go by acronyms still?
We'll go by acronyms still.
All right. So you know, this is going to be our own little separate thing. This is something that we don't normally cover, but you know what I'm saying? It is something that we feel is important because it's a big case and it covers a lot of different things. That covers a lot of different entities, I guess you could call it. And that is the case, of course, of JD and AH. I was watching it actually off of another channel called Osme Gold or something like that, and it was very interesting. And then I got hip to one that actually does studies on body language and behavior, and even had one of the lawyers who was over there actually at it. So it was interesting to find out some things, but I only caught snippets. So the only things that I really paid attention to was
objection.
Honestly, I was getting annoyed from the first time I chose to look at it, and I chose to look at the first few days, probably like 2 weeks after the case was already out, because I honestly didn't care. You know, it was one of those things of I was getting tired of hearing about it, but everybody is treating this like drama news, and unfortunately, I'm going to say it, Americans like drama, unfortunately. It is one of those things of I get tired of hearing about it. Can we talk about anything happier? I mean, I'm in every form of nerd media. I love looking at everything where it comes from anime, video games, movies to TV shows. Everybody got some form of drama. I just want to hear about some happy stuff. This might have a happy outcome depending on who's looking at it, but it's just too much drama stuff. But when I did get a chance to look at it, the one thing that I thought was a pitiful excuse of a group of representatives was AH's lawyers.
Pretty much.
They made it seems like they seemed like the lawyers you would get from a Cracker Jack box, you know, from a Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory movie, or you know, the ones that you get like you can't afford an attorney, so the state will provide you one, and it's like, of course, they're going to give you the worst one possible unless they're a try-hard.
So basically, Johnny Depp got the lawyers from Amazon, and she got it from Wish.
Yeah, 100%. And the thing about it is I watched it more for some of the features. Or I should say the guest features or whatever else. Mm-hmm. Johnny Depp's head of security. JD's head of security. Oh, that man was the real one.
Yes, it was.
He had no filter and everything else. The one they called the Wizard. He was a neutral party using algorithms to for how many times something did posted on Twitter. Mm-hmm. And the amount of free Johnny Depp or whatever else was put was more than any other negative algorithm or phrase used against AH.
Pretty much.
But yet and still, there was only one attorney on AH's side. I can't remember if he was the younger or the older one, who was an a-hole.
Yes.
That man was trying to dig into that nerd. And the funny thing is that everybody was just like, wait, the Wizard shouldn't be losing. I think he ran out of mana. Like, I thought that was the funniest thing in the world. But, and then I got to give it, what's her name, Camilla?
Johnny
Depp,
yeah, Camille,
yeah. I gotta give it to her. If outside of the AH's lawyer that was retiring, and unfortunately she retired on a loss, even though technically they say it's 2 wins, but a small win and a bigger win, I guess.
Yeah.
Camille, she just became a high-end lawyer, 100%. This is the peak and pinnacle of what she needs on her resume. She's going to be able to charge for astronomical amounts for it. Not even whether she wants to or not. It's just this is one of the biggest if not the biggest high-profile case to ever come out in a very long time for something like this. In all fronts that what was being sued for, and she
cute as hell, and she cute as hell too.
I mean, but remember, she's also part of the LGBTQ, if I'm correct.
Yeah.
So
no, wait. I thought she had a boyfriend.
From what I understand, I was told that she's part of that group.
Oh yeah, she's part of that. But I thought she had a boyfriend, but.
You know what? I don't know the logistics of if you can have a. You know what? That's neither here nor there. She as a lawyer is the best thing I've seen since sliced bread. Like that, the way she handled it, her and the team for JD, the representation, the amount of information, and the digging. Oh, they dug into AH, especially her. It was more crazy than.
She basically it's like a Batman interrogation / Daredevil interrogation. She digged into her hard, and I'm just like, yo, like my eyes just keep widening open. And then when the one moment that like my eyes wide open that she got Amber really bad was when Amber said, I fought hard to get this mirror role from. She said I got it myself, and then Camille was like, no, you didn't. She's like, Johnny Depp gave you that role. She's like, no, I got it for myself. She said, why did Johnny Depp hit up one of the directors of Aquaman, one of the executive producers? Because they're like this. And she's like, he gave you that role. And I'm just like, oh, I literally went for my bed. I'm just like, oh. And it was true. Like, Johnny Depp did give that role.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, because like I forgot what's his name, but one of the producers of that movie, him and Johnny were tight. And basically, he gave her that.
Wow.
And then crazier news after that, she's out of that movie.
Wait, they updated it?
She's out.
So, okay, because the last time I remember, they said that she was only going to be in 10 minutes of the movie.
They according to the producer of, one of the producers of Aquaman, like I found it on her Instagram, I think her name is Juliet or something like that. They removed her. Completely. I'm like, yo.
Thank you.
I'm like, I hope it is. I hope it's true because even though it's one of the producers, when they said that, I said, yo.
Thank you, and the reason why I say thank you on that is because there's to have a situation like this where you found out. The one thing I don't like about, I guess, laws, because we're going into this is pretty much a law thing that we're doing anyway, is that you're guilty until proven innocent, and it normally happens more so unfortunately for men than women. There has to be a lot of evidence, or you just can't turn a blind eye and say that. But the amount of destruction that happened for JD when it came down to this. Now, granted, JD isn't innocent.
Nope.
Because he definitely did his dirt.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? But everything that said about him was pretty much a lie.
Yeah.
Everything, ex-girlfriends they brought out. People on AH's side. All these different people from different sides all said the same thing. Yeah, he might get drunk. Yeah, he might get a little crazy when it comes down to himself, but never when it comes down to the other party.
And what I can't stand about Amber Heard lawyers, they want to keep AH lawyers. Excuse me. they were digging hard on Johnny to say that if he's abused, but the only question they keep asking, do you do alcohol? Do you do wine? Mega pint of wine, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah,
do they do drugs? Do they do?
They had it hard on that cocaine one.
Yeah, they had. I was like, just get to the point. Did they? They never said if he physically attacked her, which they did not. And then there was one question that the lawyer tried to jumble it up. He said after she cut your finger. Then I was like, what? And then she said after you hurt yourself. I'm just like, no. I was like, you just screwed yourself out of this one right there. Yeah. You just screwed your. I was like, you just dug your grave.
Whatchamacallit, one of the parts that I watched the most of was the high profile, what is he considered? He's not a butler, but he's the caretaker of the house. That one? I think it was their British estate. And he also went with them to Australia when it was shooting those movies. That guy.
Oh, yeah, I know.
Like, what I thought was interesting is one of AH's lawyers was just like, so the man was already on the stand, answering all the questions, saying that I was here from this point to this point, this amount of time I had to be here and everything else. So the man was there for a very long period of time during the times of all these incidents. And the lawyer called himself trying to say, I forget the actual words verbatim, but I'm sure the rest of everybody knows what I'm talking about. He was just like, so it was from like this time to this time. It's a possibility you couldn't have been there, right? You really don't know the time frame or the date. How can you say some stuff like that when the man literally said, I'm the one that found his finger?
Yep.
Like, of course he's there. Like, there's crack-a-jack-box lawyers. Like, and then on top of that, like, his position, he's sworn to a thing of secrecy or silence. You know, whether it's an NDA or whatever else when it comes down to high-profile people and whatever happens. And so I remember the lawyer also asked them, well, you told other people that are under, you know, that's working under you, I guess that's hired under you or whatever else, not to say anything or whatever else. Well, yes, it's because they're supposed to stay silent if they want to keep a job or stay working in that environment. Like, what are you trying to get at? It's like, it's one thing if a person literally tells you like what their job entails and, you know, the vows that they're supposed to keep or whatever else, because a lot of people can screw their life up if they actually say stuff. Like, NDAs are not something to mess with in any way, shape, or form. Granted, I don't know if he was under that, but the fact that if he's worked under a lot of high profile stuff, there's just something that's a given or a common sense that you don't go running your mouth over to other things if you're trying to stay employed for a job, because the man made a lot of money working for some of these people. So that just kind of like seems like it's common sense. Now,
I'm gonna say two other things. One, what I can't stand on this case, why the hell is AH keep looking at the jury, and then Camille called her out on it really hard.
I found out. Like I said, I was watching two different channels. So apparently she's trying to appeal to the jury that were female. There's certain in certain boxes they had certain ones that were female, and the one that was closest wasn't trying to look at her. And this is coming from one of the lawyers that were actually sitting in there. Guys, if I can find the link, because I'm sure I'm going to have to dig for it, I'll definitely link it below so you can see. They were talking about body posture and behavior, but literally the first one was a guy. He's the one closest to her. He was doing this the whole time. He didn't even want to look at her. He would either put his hand up or he was looking straight and stuff like that. But in other parts of the panel, like of the jury, there's females, and she would literally try to speak to them, and a lot of jury would just look straight. But if anybody actually looks at her, she would try to like sell it off or whatever else. Now again, I don't know how accurate or whatever, this whole body language and everything else is, but I do know people have gotten things to science. So my whole thing is that it's not so much whether I believe it or not. I honestly don't care when it comes down to that. But for any of y'all that are interested in that, I'll definitely make sure that is posted so that this way, you can come up with a better conclusion for yourself. It might end up changing your mind about things. It might reinforce some things about it. But there's one thing I do want to bring up. And it was the thing where when Camille was putting the pressure on AH had made a comment about, if I was to post something, I would do it way better than that or whatever else. And Camille was just like, but I thought you said you couldn't, you didn't know how to post anything. It was just like, I don't. But why would you make a comment like that if you... There's like so many things that was getting caught, and I was just like, why is this trial still going on? Are they just trying to like bleed this money out of it? Because what? It was like a $35 million case, right? Something like that, 30 million?
It was over 150 million basically, because she tried to, AH tried to sue Johnny for 100 million, then Johnny tried to sue her for 50.
Gotcha. But the actual grand total was 17 million.
Yeah, basically.
Which is so dumb, and like. Okay, so you're the one that actually told me about this, right? So JD, I'm sorry, not even I'm doing it. JD lost or won 15 million. Mm-hmm. But because of something with the state of Virginia or whatever you said, yep, he's getting 10,325,000 or 375?
350,000.
10,350,000.
Mm-hmm.
Now, where in the hell does that other money go? Because normally taxes get taken out of the money that you've gotten.
Yeah,
that's a lot to already be taken out. Yeah. Now, even though JD does have money, and he most likely might just donate it to charity or something like that, it's just one of those things of, that's a lot of money just being taken out of nowhere. Did you ever find out where the other 4 million went?
Yeah, well, they say because the punitive damages, they say according to like the Virginia law, they states that the highest they ever go to is 350,000. The jury wanted to grant them 5 million additionally, but they realized that Virginia has said that
what do you mean the punitive?
They punished like Amber Heard's punishment damages towards Johnny Depp for defamation of character, for basically ruining his career. Basically, that's Amber's punishment, to also give him $5 additional million. But the Virginia's law is saying that the highest they ever go to 350,000.
But so what happens to the other like 4.7?
That part I don't know.
Because okay, I'm not no math wizard or tax wizard or whatever else, but JD gets 10 million.
Yep.
Well, 10.3, whatever. Tax is going to take what, 40% out of that, maybe half. So that man now gets like half of that, and then of course the lawyer's fees and all the other stuff is coming out of that. So what, you're going to be left with maybe 2 million?
Maybe.
So that's what I don't understand. Like, where does the loss in the 4.7 come from, or 4.225, whatever it is?
But also at the same time, but if you subtract that 2 million from that Adam Wallman statement that Amber that they granted, she basically owes him $8.35 million altogether, and she's trying to appeal that, which most likely gonna work. And I'm gonna tell you two funny things. One,
which I'm surprised she getting anything.
Yeah, I think it's from Adam. I think it's from Adam Wallman's statement or something. I forgot how it was, but the funny thing about it, she said she's going to appeal, but you're gonna lose again. Yep. And another one was that somebody made a GoFundMe for Amber Heard. GoFundMe is like, man, F y'all, shut that crap down. They shut down that whole campaign, which is I think it already reached $1 million. They shut that whole thing down.
So that means all the money got refunded.
All the money got refunded, which I was like, I was like, these guys ain't playing around.
So here's a question: did you ever find out what was the whole point of the GoFundMe?
Basically, the whole point of this, they try to support Amber Heard, basically.
Okay. And you know, I had you read a statement from somebody earlier that I know on FB, but with all the evidence there, how can a person still claim ignorance? Like, I'm really kind of dumbfounded when it comes down to that, because again, both people aren't saints.
Nope.
But you know, and I've said this before, 1,000 people can say 1 + 1 is 2, but that one person or 10 people that are saying 1 + 1 is 3 could actually be the right person. Of course, I'm giving you a weird mathematical analogy on that, but in this case, there's so many people from different walks of life, from over the country, over the world, that have came to this trial in all different matters, and some digging up from, you know, JD's past and AH's past, and all of them have said JD is a good person.
Yep.
Little twisted, you know, you know, he has his flares and everything else, but he's a good person. But AH is a pathological liar.
Yep.
And here's the thing: not only destroyed this man's career, which I hope he sues more people for defamation of character.
He could have a strong chance of suing Disney and WB.
Yes, I mean the whole 300 million and $1 million alpacas. that you know. And then I actually heard something very interesting. So there's an article already that was talking about the first article I remember hearing was like about 5 days ago, saying that they are already replacing the person for Jack Sparrow. You can't use Jack Sparrow.
You can't use him
because nobody is going to want to watch anything dealing with Pirates of the Caribbean. But then I heard something about Disney is going to strongly try to reach back out. Like,
yep.
So you're going to be paying him $300 million plus, and whatever the worth of $1 million plus alpacas, because there's no way he's going to be the highest paid person in history with that type of thing.
Yeah, but most likely Johnny Depp said he ain't going to come back, which I fully believe he ain't going to do it no more, because they both did him wrong.
And the worst thing is if I'm correct, if he's acting that way with Disney, that means he's probably going to give that same energy to WB too.
Yep.
So we already know he ain't going to be in no superhero movies.
Nope. And that's a sad part.
Yeah, maybe an Edward Scissorhands 2, 3, 4, and 5.
Maybe.
Yeah.
But I'll say one other thing. That guy who took the stand, the TMZ guy, he put the sass in sassy.
Were you aware of that?
No.
Okay. Now, if you don't have information that's helpful to this case, then you wouldn't be a witness, correct?
Objection. Calls for speculation.
Sustained.
Sustained. Next question.
I'm not aware.
Right. Okay. You know this case is being televised, right?
I am aware that there are cameras.
And so this gets you your 15 minutes of fame, doesn't
Objection, Your Honor. Argumentative.
it? I can ask that question.
Overruled.
So I stand to gain nothing from this. I'm actually putting myself kind of in a target of TMZ, a very litigious organization, and I'm not seeking any 15 minutes here. Though you're welcome to speculate. I could say the same thing by taking Amber Heard as a client for you.
But the thing, everybody knew she had crackerjack box lawyers. Like, the thing about it is one of my friends actually said it best. He was so hell-bent on seeing her go down burning in flames that he never paid attention just how bad the lawyers were.
No.
But for me, who came up on it late, and when I looked at it, I was just like, these people don't sound like lawyers. So it was very interesting to actually catch the glimpses and everything else. But again, like, the amount of information and the amount of stuff that's out there of the actual video footage, I probably watched maybe 15% of the total whole, maybe, you know, so, and even though it was the actual jury, the trial and everything else, it's one of those things of, it was laughable.
Yeah.
You know, but I do feel sorry for Johnny Depp's family though, because the biggest thing that the man did say, I said his name. Anyways, the biggest thing is his kids. He said that he's a private person. He doesn't try to put himself out there. We know how paparazzi is and everything else. So the fact that, you know, they would actually do some, you know, that she would do something like this, you know, it's, but we already know when people do things, they normally do it for themselves. They don't think, anybody that ever has any form of malintent in any way, shape, or form, whether you're, posting a message about somebody, a picture about somebody, writing a comment, taking a video, whatever else, you're never looking at who else does it affect, especially when it comes down to people that are already parents.
Yeah.
So,
I'll say another thing too. I'm like, it is really this case. I'm like, it's over? Yeah, but I'm like, it's sad that. I'm gonna ask the question. Most likely, everybody gonna answer. Don't we have enough fake rape or domestic abuse victims already? She's probably the reasons why people who have been raped, she's one of the few.
No, she's not. Me Too movement caught all that.
That too, but I'm just saying. Now more people who will try to come out saying that I've been abused and they have proof. Nobody's believe their story.
That's straight Weinstein and Me Too way before her. But the thing about it is now here's the thing. I would think that more people are going to pay attention and be smart about just putting out lies like that, because if AH would have been able to get away with this, then I think you would have seen a lot more stuff come out with this. But it actually shows you that, hey, unfortunately, it shows you that a man could be a victim as well. And of course, men have been victims and things. There are cases of it, but 9 times out of 10, a lot of times, that's the reason why I hate this whole guilty until proven innocent system, because it almost feels like shoot first and ask questions later type of scenario.
Yep.
It's
big time.
Women always are going to be the ones that are victims first, never the victimizer. Yep. So. But I mean, this is one case. I'm not going to say this is a win for men or whatever else, because honestly, I wish people could just, and of course, sometimes this is a fantasy or whatever else. I wish people can actually just, you know, hey, if you fell out of love, let bygones be bygones and move on with your life. But when you're talking about the financial difference, whatever, because if I'm correct, they're saying AH is also lesbian, if I'm correct, right?
Yeah, she was in the beginning.
She was?
Yeah.
Okay, so she's bisexual then?
Yeah.
Okay, so she was with a woman, and if I'm correct, didn't she testify or actually say some things that actually threw her under the rug?
I think so. I think most likely.
But you're jumping from different relationships. You're getting into arguments, and the thing about it is they already said he got into arguments with her as well.
Yeah.
So again, JD's not a saint, but why can't you just learn to get along? Oh, there's money involved, depending on how long y'all were together. They're technically both worth value, so I didn't hear anything about a prenup or a postnup. Because of this lawsuit, we already know alimony is out the window when it comes down to this relationship. So, but it's just one of those things of, you know, y'all both brought value to, you know, whatever the relationship was, or to the marriage. It ended up being a toxic one, to say the least. It ended up having to go to court for so long to where people's livelihoods and extended families and children and everything else were strained.
Yep.
And it's an embarrassment.
And
why would you want this? I mean, granted, AH has been more in the public eye than Johnny than JD has been.
Yeah.
By a long shot. And JD even says he doesn't like to be in the limelight. But the thing that I think is interesting is, and guys, this is the thing I'll probably end off on because it's probably the most important one. The original conversation before this whole court thing even started, when they both sat down recording it and talking about it, right? That's probably one of the biggest, that's probably the most information you honestly would need going on, right? And that's, AH says, you know, when we fight, you always leave. Why wouldn't you talk to me? Anybody, I'm not going to say common sense is always something that people think about, because when you're emotional, things will flare up. But if on every instance, if somebody either chose not to be in an argument with you or started, you know, arguing with you and you stop and they walk away, wouldn't that give you some time to think, like, what the hell am I arguing about? Like, you know, I don't know, man. Like if I start personally interjecting my common sense into things, I don't like to argue about stuff. I try to state facts, and I will state facts with some form of statistics or some type of thing that's there. If it's something that deals with my personal life, everybody has a different personal life. Everybody has a different truth. So I already know I can't. That's null and void. But when it comes down to actual facts that you can state or reference or source, if you're still trying to argue that, I'm just gonna walk away. Yeah. Because what's the point in? But anyways, also, like I said, that's the last thing I had to say.
Yeah, I have one last point. Like I said, like during this trial, like we all saw that AH got her hand caught in the cookie jar a bunch of times, especially the one with the ACLU with the charity thing. She got that's the moment I said, okay, now she lost this case. She lost. She said she pledged. She said she pledged that she donated $350,000, not donated. Big two different words, pledge and donate. And she got her hand caught in the cookie jar, and Camille went in on her because of that. And I said, yeah, that's basically a big statement right there. Like, so basically she didn't donate the whole money that she was promised to do, and she didn't do that. And then also another thing, I don't think you saw the clip of Judge Pirro.
No.
I'm gonna show you that later. Matter of fact, there was gonna be a little small clip of it. So I want y'all to take a look at it.
Look, here's the bottom line. For this woman to come out and say it's a setback for women, I think she needs to understand one thing, and that is that what she did was harmful to real victims of domestic violence. And I'm sorry for saying it again. I started the first domestic violence unit in the nation. I have dealt with battered women for 30 years. As soon as she started, it was clear she was not the victim. She was the abuser. And Johnny Depp had lawyers who could take her on. This Camila Vasquez was right on target with her. The tape recordings where she said, Johnny, you going to be a baby? Are you going to tell everybody I didn't hit you hard enough? It was difficult for this man to make a decision to put his whole life on the table, but he had nothing to lose. And when they said to him, what have you lost as a result of what she did? He said nothing short of everything. And so she tried to promote herself as being part of the Me Too movement, that here I am, a woman who's being abused. And she said, you know, the defense was, we didn't know if it was about Johnny Depp. Are you kidding? 2 years earlier, she tried to get a temporary restraining order against him, and it was in all the newspapers. But she was impossible to believe. And I would tell a jury as a judge, if you find that one witness has testified falsely with respect to one fact, you are free to disregard their entire testimony. This woman lied over and over again, and I feel free to say that on television. She lied. She was a liar. She was the abuser, and he was the victim. And let me just say one more thing. For him to take on this burden, which is not only proof that he was defamed, that she was talking about him, but that she was malicious, That jury had to really see right through her to
Right.
say she was malicious. And they found for him 10 million compensatory, 5 million punitive. Punitive damages. That's to punish you, Amber Heard.
Yeah.
For taking on this guy's life and destroying his life so you could be part of the Me Too movement. Don't give me this stuff, you know, it's a setback for women. You do not represent women. You represent the worst of women who try to falsely blame men. And that's the end.
Okay. All right, but guys, look, these type of topics I do not like. This gives me a headache. I guess just because of the type of moral codes that I have and the things that I look at, but I do have an opinion about it. I'm not going to. I wasn't able to express and say all the things that I want to say about this because this is one of those things that, thankfully, it's over with. It's not worth talking about as far as my opinion, but Power Trick might be a little bit different. He's one of the ones that's been covering it for a long time. I want people to just be blessed, happy, and just try to learn to be with one another. Instead of people actually showing camaraderie, everything is now compromise. And life is about compromise. Life itself is a transaction, but a bunch of microtransactions or mini transactions, as you would say. But that's a topic for another time, and that's something that's even too deep to even talk about when it comes down to this channel. So this is not going to be a norm, guys. No. This is not going to be a norm. But love all of y'all and be blessed. But before I even get into all that, like, comment, subscribe, hit the bell for notifications. If you like what we was discussing, if you like the information we was giving out, you know, definitely support us. Put whatever comments you want down in the comment section. We will read it. It's not a matter of whether I care or not that we're not going to actually respond and try to give our opinion or 2 cents on the matter. It's just, you know, we're two different people with two different, you know, thought processes. But it's always going to be one of those things of we value everybody's opinion. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and all I gotta say is, all about just stay safe, because this whole COVID thing's still going on, and the mass shootings. I don't want to talk about that, but it's just too horrible. It just doesn't make sense. But
guys, look at it this way. This was a trial, but there's people that are literally losing loved ones. Yeah. So I want y'all to think about it that way. Let's just all try to get along. Everybody has their own stresses. Mm-hmm. So why not try to work together instead of trying to be at each other's throats when it comes down to stuff? And truly put some thought or some value into, is it even worth it? Because some things sometimes are just a little bit too frivolous to even be bothered with. I didn't care about the Will and Jada. I don't care about this either. So, but anyways, love y'all, and y'all have a great rest of y'all day. And please, like I said, like, comment, subscribe, and just be blessed. All right.
Stay safe, everybody.